So it seems like Microsoft's push for Play Anywhere is really getting more aggressive. They are starting to kind of push the boundaries and trying to get more and more games on that Play Anywhere. And one game in particular, which has been a delight for many gamers, is of course Hogwarts Legacy. This game has now become Xbox Play Anywhere. Of course, this is an older title, but it goes to show that Microsoft's push into this era of having that Play Anywhere, especially with the ROG Xbox Ally X and Standard coming out, this is a thing that Microsoft really needs to get more aggressive on and really has to start pushing that boat. Xbox Play Anywhere is a really big deal. In fact, it dictates whether I buy games off Xbox entirely or whether I look for cheaper options elsewhere because I've got access to all platforms. But if I can play this as an Xbox Play Anywhere, Xbox 100% gets my money without a shadow of doubt, regardless of, what it is, because I can then game on my Xbox and on my PC. So this actually works really, really well. And with the Xbox ROG Ally, you can also game on there because it runs native games on the handheld through Game Pass, as well as Steam and everything else. But this just goes to show the drive that Microsoft has got going. A lot of things have been said about Play Anywhere and the lack of third-party support, and Microsoft does need to do a lot more in order to get the companies on board and pushing for this. The fact is, if a console gamer is playing the game and they buy it for Xbox, the chances are they're not really going to play it on PC, and the number of sales that they will probably lose is minuscule. However, what this means is that those people that are buying a handheld PC or playing through the cloud, they have another means to be able to play it. And so at this point, I personally don't see them making that big of a loss. Now, if you ask PlayStation fans, they're going to say, why would they want to give a version of the game away for free? But the average person isn't going to probably utilize the other game anyway. But the fact that it's there for the minority that will utilize this, who do have gaming rigs or a handheld PC and a console, this will be a really good thing. So ultimately, I think more developers should get on board with this. I think they'll find that more people will be inclined to buy their games, especially with the cross generation. Games aren't cheap today, so when you're getting a double bubble like this, it kind of softens the blow. Paying $70, $80 for a game is a lot of money. But if you're getting two of them, and sure, if you're not going to utilize it, it doesn't make a difference. But for those where it will make a difference, it definitely incentivizes you to buy the game. And so that is something that should be taken into consideration by third-party publishers when they're going forward. And I'm pretty sure Microsoft has done the maths anyway when they're doing this whole Play Anywhere, because at the end of the day, when you really think about it, if you're playing on PC, you're not really going to be playing on console, but because you've got a gaming rig. But the option is there for you to do that if you need to, for whatever reason, and vice versa. If you're a console player, you're going to play on console, not really on PC, and you probably don't have a gaming rig PC anyway. So the loss of sales here, in my opinion, just isn't as big as people are saying. But it's great to see that Microsoft is still pushing ahead with the Xbox Play Anywhere. I just want them to get way more aggressive now with third-party studios. And just like they announced a number of games coming, for Game Pass drops or coming soon every month for Game Pass, I really want them to start a similar thing on their social panel where they start announcing, 3 games, 5 games a month, 10 games a month, whatever it is that is new on Xbox Play Anywhere, so they can kind of push this even more on social media, because people aren't aware how many games are available. And if a new game that's coming is Xbox Play Anywhere and people miss the shows or whatever and aren't sure, these social media posts will do wonders in helping that. Now, this news over here is a bit of a weird one, because Terminator 2 No Fate has been delayed once again. In fact, it's now dubbed No Date, from October 31 to November 26. And the reason for this is because the physical versions of the games, whether they're the day one edition or the collector's editions, aren't going to be available. Now, this doesn't sit right with me. I was purchasing this digital anyway, but because of physical versions of the game, this game is now being delayed. And I think, and sure, it's not being delayed that much, but it would have been nice to play this during Halloween, or just, you know, maybe a few days before Halloween. But it would have been nice to play it during that period. But now it's being pushed out by a month, and I think, you know, at this point in where we are within the landscape of digital versus physical, and just how much we have in terms of sales between the two, if you are struggling to get your physical version out, that's fine, but you should not be impeding those that want to buy digitally. Delaying it for the minority physical that are out there, I think, is a slap in the face to those people that want to buy it digitally and who are prepared to pay you the money. The game is ready. I don't think it should be delayed. Now, there are people out there who say having a simultaneous launch is better, and, you know, I can coincide with that, but at the same time, it's better for you because you're not going to watch everyone else playing it. But it's not better for me as the consumer, because now I have to wait for a month for no reason whatsoever, just so I can play this game, because of people who buy physically. And I'm not saying for them not to make the physical copy. They can do it all they want. In fact, I encourage publishers to consistently make physical copies of games for those that want it. But in situations like this, where due to, you know, economic conditions and, you know, as you can see from here, let's just have a quick read. This adjustment is due to ongoing global trade and tariff changes. So if this is going to be a thing, then at this point, release it digitally, and when the time is right, you can release it physically and send it out to everyone else. I just see no reason for this to be delayed. That's my personal opinion, but I'd love to hear your opinion in the comment section below, because this is something that I feel like is going to happen more often than people realize. And so physical versions of the games are going to delay the launch of games because of economic conditions or whatever, you know, global trade, tariffs, whatever you want to call it. It's going to impact games that are ready for launch, but they can't launch it because the physical versions just aren't ready to be manufactured in time, or are just not ready in time because of costs. And obviously companies want to minimize costs, but I just don't think this is it. Now, this one is quite special, and I will say why. Because, well, it looks like Battlefield has taken the complete piss out of Call of Duty. Now, let's just have a quick watch of this trailer.
Who was that?
Doesn't matter. Let's move. Scope the area.
And so the whole point of this trailer is that these are basically Call of Duty players that are wearing skins with their golden guns and the red guns and whatnot, and then they get completely blown away. And then this game, the trailer then goes on to show like Battlefield is the real, you know, soldier game and whatnot. And a lot of people are, you know, saying how Battlefield completely owned Call of Duty, but I think this is actually a good thing. This is what competition does, and this is what competition is good for. You've got both sides now vying for your attention. Right now we're seeing, you know, DICE coming out and doing everything they can to grab your attention, and they are not afraid to attack Call of Duty. Now I expect CoD to come back with a similar response to this, and it's going to be hilarious. And this is exactly what the community wants to see. They want to see these publishers, these studios, fighting for your time, because at the end of the day, that makes a game better. It makes the experience, it means that they have to try to outperform their competition in order to get your time. This means that we just get a better product. At least that's the theory. And I think this is great. I really do. And I really am happy that Battlefield did this, because, you know, it means that we're now going to see these two really going head to head with each other. And like I said, I expect Call of Duty to come back with a response for this, and that's going to be cool. But it's nice to see that, you know, these studios are fighting for your time, fighting for our time. It's not just taken for granted. And so I say, game on, man, game on. This is exactly what the gaming industry has been missing. This is exactly what's been, you know, exempt and just void from the gaming sphere. And I'm so happy to see that DICE decided that this was a great thing to do, and it absolutely was. And I just want to see more of this competition, more of this fighting to get you as a consumer to buy their game. But folks, that is it. That's the video. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. You've got Microsoft being more aggressive with Hogwarts Legacy. You've got Terminator deciding to delay the game. And you've got Call of Duty going all out with their amazing ad, completely mocking Call of Duty, and at the same time declaring war with Call of Duty for your time, putting themselves out there. This is great. This is a good time to be gaming. This is exactly what's been missing, and I'm happy for it. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Let's have that discussion. I'd love to see your comments regarding any of this stuff in the comments. Of course, don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, hit that bell to stay up to date with all content I release. It really helps with the video and the channel, and I am trying to get to 10,000 subs by the end of the year, so hopefully we can do that. And when we do, we're going to be doing some cool stuff at 10,000 subs, so the quicker I get there, the quicker we can get on with that cool stuff. If you do watch this on a mobile device, do consider dropping a hype. It's a new thing that YouTube has introduced among a million other things that they are introducing. It is, you can do free hypes every week, and yeah, if you haven't used yours, do consider dropping one for me. It does really help get the video noticed and pushed out there. Thank you so much for your time. I'll see you in the next one. Remain legend.